Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have kind of a fun video for you. I've been getting interested in Norse mythology and reading about the runes, and I happened to chance upon this this tarot deck on Facebook. There's the gentleman who is the artist and produces this deck, has an actual Facebook page called The Lay of Nine Worlds, and you can find this deck and buy it there. A Norse themed tarot deck. So it's really nicely presented. It's in a nice tin. I did not buy this deck when it was on Kickstarter. I didn't know about it, and apparently he does have decks left over, or maybe he did another production run. But they are available and they are beautiful. So this is, well, let me take them out of the box. I almost hate to take them out of the box. They just look so beautifully presented. They're sitting nestled in that nice box. Here we can see the card backs. I'm going to try and get it so it's not too much of a glare. The cards are not matte, but they're not glossy. They're semi-matte. They're very smooth, but they don't actually have a lot of reflective. They're a little bit, I suppose. So here is the card back. It matches the top of the tin. A very nice Norse scene there. There's a rune stone. We've got a river, mountain, the sky behind. The artwork in this deck is really very beautiful, I think. You can see the line drawing, and then I believe it's probably filled in with watercolors or pastels of some sort. Really pretty. The colors give the entire deck has a kind of a wintry feel. There's a lot of the blues and deep purples. I really like that about this deck. There aren't a lot of decks that you find that have a kind of a wintry feel. And here's the card edge is all gilded with this really pretty kind of matte gold gilding. Not too shiny, but not dull. Really nice, and it doesn't have the feel of anything that's going to be flaking off anytime soon, so that's nice. The card stock is fairly thick, nice quality. So let us go through the cards. I did not receive a little white book. I know the author was working on a book to go with this deck and was planning to make it available, and I'm going to have to contact him and see how I can get a copy, because I would really love to get the explanation of the cards. I'm not real great on Norse mythology. I just barely know anything about it, and I've just begun to study runes, and I've been studying them from a phonetic and a historical background, so I haven't really learned much about divination with runes. So I may or may not be able to pick up on the connection between the rune symbols and the card. And I don't think you're meant to get a connection with these cards and the rune symbols. They actually use runes to write the number up here. For instance, this is 0, and phonetically this would be 9, or I believe that's nothing in German, which is a derived from the Proto-Norse language. And here we have Fiful, the Fool, and the card name is written at the bottom in English. But if you know any of your pronunciation of the runes, you can kind of figure that out too. Fiful, 9. And isn't that a beautiful Fool card? I don't know what he's got in his backpack here. It looks like some female hair there, so I hope he's not got a head there. I don't know what myth this might be. It would be interesting to know. Like I said, I don't have any booklet on the cards. But there's the Fool. And then we have the Magician. We have a female magician. Card number 1, and in the rune alphabet here, it's Ein. It's not, 9 is 0 and Ein is 1, I would imagine. And then down here it says Wolwa. And I believe linguistically W is pretty much related to V, and that might be Volva, which is kind of the Germanic term for a witch. Volva or Volva. She's got the tools. This is the wand. She's got the drinking horn cup and the sword, and then we have coins in this deck as the earth suit. So there is our very beautiful magician. Next we have the High Priestess, number 2, and this says Tuir, so I guess that would be the way to say 2 in Old Norse. I hope I'm not slaughtering these pronunciations too badly. Like I said, I'm just learning, so forgive me if I'm not doing well with the pronunciation of the words. But we have the dark and light pillar, the moon, the beautiful blue behind, kind of gives you the watery feel. She's holding a pomegranate. And this down here says Blodgith Blodgithia. Thiesia. Okay, your guess is as good as mine as to what that might mean. But that's a very nice High Priestess. And here we have a couple cards that I really, really like. They really go together perfectly. Empress and Emperor. So first we have the Empress. I love the incense behind on her throne. This is number 3, and so up here, this in runic is Thrir. And the Empress is Kaiserina, like kind of like Kaiserin, which is the German word for a ruler. But this is Kaiserina. So that was Kaiserina, and here is Kaiserin, the Emperor, number 4. Love is ravens, the sword or the spear behind there. And this is card number 4. So this says Fiorir, number 4. Gosh, I really love those Empress and Emperor. That is a beautiful pair. All right, then we have number 5, the Hierophant. And this here, this says, I hope I can get this correct for you, Thuler, I don't know what that means. Card number 5, so this says Theme. And isn't that a nice Hierophant? I love his musical instrument. He's got the keys. He's seated there on kind of a rocky throne. He's deep in thought. He's got his eyes closed. So that is our Hierophant in this deck. Okay, this card I'm sure must represent some sort of a Nordic myth, but I don't know what the myth might be. This is the Lovers, number 6. So up here we say sex, S-E-K-S, sex. And down here it says Ilskunder, or something to that effect. I'm probably massacring whatever name that is. But that is the Lovers representation. Here's one of my favorite cards in the deck here. This is the Chariot, number 7. And this says Sia. And this says Wagon, like a wagon. And I love the motion in that horse. I just love that card. Really beautiful. So there is our Chariot. Very nicely done. Number 8, Strength. So you can see this does go with the Rider-Waite ordering where we have strength at 8 and justice at 11. Here we have a snake or a serpent. Don't you love the colors in this card? Look at the blue and yellow, and then it contrasts with the yellow of his hair and his cloak there. Really pretty. So number 8, and this says Ata, A-T-A, Ata. Pretty close to our 8 in English. And down here this says Megan. Megine. I don't know what Megine is. And I love this Hermit. One of my favorites in the deck here. Look at his hat. He looks kind of like a Nordic cowboy. So this is number 9. New. Look at how he's got the lantern there on the end of his spear. That's really cool. I have a feeling this might be Odin, but I can't really tell. I don't really know. I have to read more on the mythology. Supposedly Odin only has one eye. You can only see one eye here, so I don't know. Okay, then down here, this says Eremit. Eremit. Hermit. Eremit. Very close. Okay, then we have the number 10, which is Wheel of Fortune. A beautiful rune stone here on the grass. Very nice. Tiu. I take it Tiu must mean 10. And down here we've got 2 separate words, which is Urthur, where, whale, whale. Herther wheel, which I take it is probably a way of saying earth wheel. Earther wheel. Here we have justice. This is Jafnather, and it is number 11. 11 for 11. 11. And I believe this is the god Tyr, who lost his right hand in the mouth of the giant wolf, Fenrir. They were trying to trap this wolf, according to this myth, and he put his hand inside the wolf's mouth as a sign of goodwill, but when they actually bound the wolf and captured him, the wolf realized he was being tricked and he bit his hand off. So poor Tyr lost his hand to the wolf. Okay, here we have the Hanged Man. Again, another reference to Odin, I'm sure. And down here, this says, let's see, Hangder Mother. Mother means man in Old Norse. Speaking of which, you know how I know that is because I watched this very interesting channel here on YouTube, Dr. Jackson Crawford's Old Norse channel. Oh my goodness, he is such an excellent instructor. Very interesting. He's a professor of Old Norse language, and he's got a lot of great videos on YouTube. Check him out if you get a chance. Dr. Jackson Crawford's Old Norse channel. That's how I learned what Mother was. Okay, and then at the top we have, this is number 12, and written in this runic alphabet, we would say this Tolf, T-O-L-F, Tolf, which is pretty close to 12. I love how the water's coming down from behind this hanged man here, hanging over the stream. There's the sword that looks like somebody just pierced him with that sword. Next we have Death, and this is the goddess Hel, H-E-L. She's half blue and kind of rotting flesh, and the other half is normal. And she rules the underworld, where people who do not go to Valhalla go to hell. The only way you can get into Valhalla is to die gloriously in battle. If you survive a battle and end up dying of old age, or if you're just a regular guy, you're going to end up going to hell. And I have a feeling that's where, the Christians probably just confiscated the term hell and used it for hell in the Christian tradition. It's too coincidental to me to have it evolve in two different cultures separately, the same exact word. So down here this says, let's see, Dathi, so that's death. And this says Thretan for 13. Okay, and you can kind of get an idea of how the cultures are cousins to the Celtic culture, because look at this emblem on her dress there. Doesn't that look very Celtic? Very cool. I like that. Next we have number 14, Temperance. And this, I can't think of the name of this goddess. What is her name? I believe it's Udi or something like that. She's holding the apples of youth, and she's one of the goddesses. So this says at the bottom here, Hangfusamel. Have no idea what that means. I'm just trying to sound it out as I see it there. And it's card 14, so this says Fjortan. That's very pretty, isn't it? Really pretty Temperance. The lady with her golden apple. The golden apple of youth. Okay, then we have the devil. Pretty similar to a Rider-Waite image. We've got the two figures here in front that are sort of chained to the devil. And this is card 15. This says Diofol. That's pretty close to devil. And up here it says Fieftan for 15. So it's just kind of for interest. I mean, you don't have to know what these say. They can be just decorative, but if you're learning to read runes, this is kind of fun, reading them phonetically. Okay, then we have the tower. That's a very cool tower. Look at that. This artist is so talented. Love this card. So number 16, the tower. This says Turn. And then up here, this says Sextan for 16. And I just love the pastel colors. I mean, they're pastel-y, but they're dark pastel. Very lovely. Here we have the star. And this says Stjarna. And it's number 17, so this says Siatan. Siatan for 17. Love how the yellow of the stars kind of matches her hair. Really beautiful. Here we have the moon, number 18. This says, let's see, Atian for 18. And there's actually a Nordic god named Moon, I believe, so that must be him, driving his chariot across the sky. And this says, let's see, Mani, whatever that means. I guess it means moon. Here's the sun, same thing. There's a goddess of the sun. Looks like it's a goddess. She's got long flowing hair and a dress and a little fur there. So this is number 19. Let's see, it says Night Yan. And this says Sol, S-O-L, Sol. So Sol for sun. Here we have Judgement. Isn't that a gorgeous card? I absolutely love that card. So this says Domer, Judgement, Domer. I don't know what Domer means. And this says Tutugu. Tutugu? Tutugu. Oh, for 20. Tutugu? Okay. We're kind of learning this as we go along, folks. And probably not learning much because I'm just pulling it out of my brain as I go along here. I have no clue other than just reading this phonetically. I feel like a kid learning how to read from a little primer. Okay, now we have the world. And this is the apparently 9 worlds of Norse mythology. That's the Yggdrasil tree. And don't ask me what all the worlds are. I'm still learning. I could assume that's hell there. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't think their hell actually has burning fires. Looks like Midgard here. Asgard. Anyway, this is the serpent that circles the world. So number 21. So this is Tutugun. Okein. Tutugu Okein. Okay, well, as we advance in the numbers here, I'm going to have more and more difficulty, I can tell. So that's the world. And look how intricate this is, this card. I mean, there's a lot of detail in that card. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, then moving on to the minor arcana. We have the suit of coins. And there is ace of coins. You can see there's like a runic inscription on the coin here. And I'm not going to go through all this. This is two of coins are twire for 2. So we've got the 2 of coins, kind of that balance and trade-off going on there. I like how it looks like the rising sun, but it could be the setting sun. So that's a really pretty 2 of coins. 3 of coins. The blacksmith. 4 of coins. I don't know why she would be in flames here. Not my typical way to think of the 4 of coins. It would be nice to have the book. I'm going to have to contact the artist and get his booklet so I can really understand what's going on in these images. Here we have 5 of coins. That's a pretty typical Rider-Waite image there. 6 of coins. Oh gosh, look how beautifully drawn. Every little rock is just like you're actually standing in front of it. They're so detailed. Here is the 7 of coins. 8 of coins. I love this. The guy looks like he just swooped in from Mongolia. He's got that like little Fu Manchu there going on. He's inscribing runes on the coins. So he's really a skilled craftsman. 8 of coins. Oh, I love this 9 of coins. Well, you know, 9 of coins is one of my favorite cards anyway, but this has got the lady with the beautiful furred coat, and she's holding the bird of prey there. We've got the grapevine vineyard type imagery behind. That's just stunning. I love that card. 9 of coins. And then the 10 of coins. I would kind of associate that card with the rune Othala, which means an inheritance or property, that kind of thing. Here we have the page of coins, and the runes up here actually spells out 11. So page of coins at 11. He has kind of that stance that's typical of a Rider-Waite person. I like that page of coins. Here we have the Knight of Coins. Queen of Coins. Her face looks rather harsh. And the King of Coins. Love, love, love their crowns. I like how they really do match. They're in similar environment here. It's almost like the mountains carry over from this card into this card, like they're in adjacent rooms. Okay. Now the suit of cups is these Nordic drinking horns. Here is Ace of Cups. Two of Cups. Three of Cups. Four of Cups. Here is the Five of Cups. I like this figure here. You can't really see his face, but you can see his hand. Kind of a despairing hand there. The Six of Cups. Here we have the beautiful Seven of Cups. Wow, isn't that cool? Eight of Cups. Here is the Nine of Cups. I should have put these next to the Rider-Waite and do a comparison. Let me know in the comments below if you're interested in seeing any of these decks that I'm showing you compared to the Rider-Waite corollary image, because that would be kind of fun to do, but it takes a little more time. But I don't mind doing it if you'd like to see it that way. Here is the Ten of Cups. Very cute. I think these kids need to actually be a little bit bigger to be in the correct proportion, unless they're really far away from their parents. But it really is a cute image. The kids playing, the parents looking on. Alrighty, then we have Page of Cups. We've even got the fish coming out of the cup, like it's very typical for Rider-Waite decks. Here's the Knight of Cups. The very beautiful Queen of Cups. and the King of Cups. Look at that fish. Here, boss, it's our biggest fish of the day. You can have him. King of Cups. Ace of Swords. Lovely. I like the garland there behind. The Two of Swords. Three of Swords. I really love how this is done. That is a beautiful card. And this is another one of my very favorite cards in this deck. Four of Swords. Looks like this guy is heading out to his burial at sea, you know, where they light everything on fire as you sail out under the horizon. A Viking funeral, I guess they call it. So yeah, that's what you'd call a phase of rest. Final rest. But I like that Four of Swords. Kind of a different twist on what we normally see. Here is the Five of Swords. Six of Swords. That would have been nice if there had been another person in there, like you normally see. I get the impression this is like a protector taking whoever, the person in need, away from the situation that they're in. But this is also a beautiful card. I can't really complain. It's very beautiful. He's got his 6 swords there. 7 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords. Very typical 9 of Swords. And a very typical 10 of Swords. 10 swords stuck in a body. You can see his spirit. Looks like he's on his way to Valhalla. All right, then the court cards for swords. There's the Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. Love her. Very strong woman. And the King of Swords. At the top it says 14. Moving on to the suit of wands, we have the Ace of Wands. I know this is not what this is meant to represent, but to me it kind of looks like a Tibetan, the prayer wheels that they have. They spin the prayer wheels. I don't know why it reminds me of that, because it only vaguely looks like a prayer wheel. But there is the Ace of Wands. Two of Wands. Love that card. That is beautiful. Three of Wands. Four of Wands. Five of Wands. Here is the Six of Wands. I don't know why 5 of them are buried beneath the earth. It would be interesting to know. The Seven of Wands. Looks like wolf, bear, and snake. I'm guessing, I don't know. So that's Seven of Wands. Here is the Eight of Wands. Nine of Wands. She's casting runes and reading them. That's very cool. Very, very cool. There's no actual documented evidence that runes were used for divination back in the Old Norse times, but we could presume that they may have been, because the actual word rune means mystery. So it's the name of a letter in the Futhark alphabet, but it also means mystery. So it could have been used for esoteric purposes, the alphabet letters. But most people believe that the runes were simply a writing alphabet. They may or may not have been used for divination. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. More in modern times. Modern New Agey people are more into the rune casting. We don't really have evidence that it actually links us back to an ancient practice. Here's the Ten of Wands. I really like that. That circle with the shadows going out. Very cool. Ten of Wands. Okay, and our last court cards. The Page of Wands, another rune caster. Well, that would have been really cool to have, instead of coins, to have a suit with runes. Something for somebody to try another time. Here is the Knight of Wands. Looks like a sorcerer. And the Queen of Wands. And last but not least, we have the King of Wands, who just happens to look like a lady also. So very cool. Girl power, right? She's even got little flowers there on her stave. So that is my walkthrough of the Lay of Nine Worlds Norse-themed tarot deck. I hope you enjoyed it. And we will talk to you all again next time. Bye-bye.